What's happening there? Right. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning to all of the listeners of The Street 919 FM. See something here. Right. I hope everybody is hearing me well. So thank you for joining The Street 919 FM this morning. As always a pleasure to have you on this Sunday morning. Let me just get this here. So, as I always tell you, wherever it is that you're taking us in, if it is that you are sitting around your kitchen table, having your morning coffee, if you're listening to us from your hammock, you're perhaps in your car making your way to or from the grocery or the market. Normally, I know we don't have the... Good morning, Angie. Thank you very much. Right. Yeah. So, we know that we don't have church services face-to-face, so some of you may be doing it online, but wherever it is that you're taking us in, as always, good morning to all of you. Let me say a special good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe out there in San Fernando. They will be celebrating their 57th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Yes, 57 years. Certainly no... nothing to be trifled with. That's a milestone. A lot of people don't make it to that to such a such a milestone. So good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, and I hope that you will enjoy your day tomorrow to the fullest. Good morning also to Mother Tuna Puna. I hope all is well with you. I know that you're still going through this the initial stages of the morning. So I trust that all is well with you, and that that my prayers are with you as well. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Regis and my colleague Sharon, Bruce, and to everyone. Now, I know I had originally indicated to you all last week that it was my intention to move away from the politics a little bit this week and talk about the issue of the national insurance system, with specific reference to a comment or a statement that would have been made by the Minister of Finance a couple of weeks ago that was totally misrepresented by members of the media. And it is a very important issue. It is one that continues to evolve and has been doing so over the last few weeks. I see the minister would have indicated it's in the intention of the ministry and the government to engage in consultations with the wider national public before any decision is taken as to how they proceed. But again, for yet another week, I have to crave your indulgence to permit me to defer it for another week, because my attention was drawn this morning when I woke up and I went on Facebook. I would have seen a post that was put out by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, referencing a media release that was put out by the leader of the opposition, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, yesterday in response to Dr. Rowley's presentation at the press briefing yesterday. And it is a press release that I cannot allow to go unanswered, one that I cannot allow to go without addressing it. Aside from the fact that it is wholly disrespectful, especially coming from somebody like the leader of the opposition. It is filled with inaccuracies which I must address, and particularly so because of the fact that just a couple days ago, the leader of the opposition would have had a press conference where she would have put into the public domain a number of inaccuracies, number of lies, and we would have interviewed on Thursday the Minister of Planning, Camille Robinson Regis, who would have been able to clear up, the misconceptions and the untruths that were put into the public domain, shamelessly so, by the leader of the opposition. And since then, you've had a number of persons come out and call her out on her lies, not the least of which the former member of parliament for Couva North, the former UNC member of parliament for Couva North, Ramona Ramdial. We've had the likes of Dr. Shane Mohammed, who is a political analyst, I believe, and others have called her out on her shameless display of dishonesty. But there's been no apology from the leader of the opposition. She has not come out to say, well, it is untrue what these people are saying and what I said was the truth and this is why it's the truth. Instead, she has chosen to remain quiet. To my mind, silence is consent. So you are basically saying, yes, everything that these persons have come out and say, accusing me of being a damn blasted liar, yes, I am so, and I have no defense for it. And she has continued in that vein. So I know a lot of you may not have have yet caught sight of this release that the leader of the opposition sent out yesterday on a letterhead from the office of the leader of the opposition to members of the media. And I will now read it for you. It says, and it's entitled, "Vaccine vagrant Keith Rowley continues to operate like a con man who keeps telling you next week he will get something done. Today, an unkempt and grubby-looking Keith Rowley has again shown himself to be willing to say anything to distract from the fact that he and his failed medical team have no plan to take us out of this crisis. Vaccine vagrant Keith Rowley continues to operate like a con man who keeps telling you next week he will get something done. Neither he nor his propaganda team expressed any regret or condolences about the 866 persons who have died from COVID-19, 640 having died in the last 50 days alone. The data the propaganda team produced, however, definitively shows that the failed mass vaccination attempt from the government's disastrous con game on the 6th of June panned out exactly as we had warned, sadly. The largest spike we have ever had in this country occurred precisely 14 days later. The failed health team bears responsibility for these deaths. Just a few weeks ago, Keith Rowley addressed the nation and claimed that 800,000 vaccines would be heading our way from the African Union. Now he says that the total figure will in fact be given to CARICOM as a whole, with TNT set to receive about 200,000. Yet he does not know when it will arrive. How long does Rowley and his failed team think they can sell the same tired story of no significant change in cases, and next week we hope for better? There appears to be no urgency to save the livelihoods of thousands of our citizens who are on the verge of losing everything as a result of Rowley's callous lockdowns. The people of this nation have given up their constitutional rights, the ability to earn a salary, and the opportunity to provide for their families. Yet 8 weeks later, we have seen no improvement because of the incompetence of those in charge. I again call on the government to let all citizens get back to work so they can earn an income to feed their families, and the country and our citizens cannot go on suffering this way." And so says the leader of the opposition. Now, I couldn't care less if it is this was written by Kirk Mayhew or whoever. The fact of the matter is that this was sent out on a letterhead bearing the office of the leader of the opposition, and therefore Kamla Persad-Bissessar must take full responsibility for every single word published in this document. And we will bolt this document, this release, to her chest this morning. Oh yes, we will definitely do that. Shameless. Apart from the fact that this is just absolutely disrespectful to be calling the Prime Minister a vagrant, vaccine vagrant, Keith Rowley. As I told you all before, this document is filled with inaccuracies, filled with lies. They're so shameless and disgusting that they wouldn't even take the time to do some research or some fact-checking before you rush to put out this. And this is a document that was sent to the media, so they want the media to publish this probably in the newspapers. They want it to feature in the evening news and so on. I didn't hear it last night. Perhaps I missed it, or maybe it would be raised in the news this evening. But if you are going to send something out to be published under the hand of the leader of the opposition, who has a serious credibility problem, oh gosh, man, at least take the time to do your research now to make sure that what you put out there is correct. But you see, when they do things like these, and then persons like myself will come out and point out the lies, point out the inaccuracies, they get vexed when you call them dunce. And it is only a dunce would send out something like this, with all of this misinformation, right? So Ramona Ramdial would have asked the question following the press conference of the leader of the opposition last week, who is feeding the leader of the opposition misinformation? Perhaps asking the question, is somebody deliberately trying to sabotage the leader of the opposition to show her as being weak, uninformed, ill-advised, perhaps to take her position? Possibly. But again, I repeat that this is posted not just on the UNC's official Facebook page, but also on the Facebook page of the leader of the opposition, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, which means that she takes ownership of it and everything that is in here. So let's go. First of all, where is it? Let me get this right here. It says here, and let me get it. The data the propaganda team produced definitively shows that the failed mass vaccination attempt from the government's disastrous con game on the 6th of June panned out exactly as we had warned. Sadly, the largest spike we have ever had in this country occurred precisely 14 days later. The failed health team bears responsibility for these deaths. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, listen, right? It says here, and I'm not accepting any excuses from anybody in the UNC that it was a typographical error. So if any UNC person listening and you all want to come and call afterwards and give me that BS, miss me with that BS, right? Because it took me less than 2 minutes to do this research. So don't come here with that, right? So Kingsley, if you're listening, and I know you like to defend your mother of the nation, you know, Tabakit, Penal, Central, all yeah, miss us with that BS, please. The vaccination, mass vaccination effort that is being referred to in this release that was sent out by the leader of the opposition to the media did not take place on the 6th of June. The 6th of June was a Sunday. It did in fact take place on the 9th of June, Wednesday, the 9th of June. Right? Wednesday. But they are telling you that it took place, just get that here. Right, so the 6th of June was a Sunday, and that took place on Wednesday, the 9th of June. So that's the first glaring lie that they have in that. But remember, I played something for you all the other day where Anil Roberts said the UNC don't lie, it's only the PNM lies, right? So they said the 6th of June, remember that day when the government indicated that they would start walk-ins, they would be taking in walk-ins, first come, first serve, persons who are over the age of 60, with or without non-communicable diseases, and persons under the age of 60 with non-communicable diseases, but apparently that would have escaped a number of citizens of this country who seem to have a literacy problem, or those who seem to have problems with their hearing. So they heard first come, first serve, they are accepting walk-ins, but they didn't read or hear those two particular criteria, and we had this chaos where a lot of people went and we had lines all over the country. And the narrative that the UNC started to spin from that day was that it was a super spreader event, and they expected in 2 weeks that you would see a spike in the numbers, the like of what we would have seen after Easter. And based on what I'm reading here, it seems that they were holding to that they were praying between the 9th of June to now, hoping and praying that 14 days hence they would have seen significant increases as we would have seen in the immediate aftermath of Easter, to the tune of 600 and so on in a day, 500 and so on. They were hoping for that. And it's very unfortunate that a party that calls itself patriotic, a party that calls itself the opposition, the government in waiting, would have been hoping and praying for a significant increase, an uptick in the number of persons infected with COVID-19, an uptick in the number of deaths, so that they could say, hey, you see, we tell all you so. This irresponsible government, you see what they cause? They don't know what they're doing. That is what I get from this, right? So I go back. This says, disastrous con game on the 6th of June panned out exactly as we had warned. So they were warning that 14 days hence from the 6th of June, you would have seen an increase in the number of deaths and in the number of new infections. Let's examine that. Now, I already told you the 6th is wrong. It was the 9th. But let's go with their number of their date of the 6th of June. 14 days after the 6th of June would have been the 20th of June, right? Let me give you the numbers. Number of new positive cases on the 20th of June 2021. 106 new positive cases. Number of additional deaths, 5. So on the 20th of June, 14 days after the date that the UNC mentioned in this release, we had the lowest number of new infections since the uptick after Easter, and the lowest number of deaths 14 days after, right? 106, 5 deaths. But as I just read for you in that release, and let me read it again because I don't want to misquote. It says here, the largest spike we have ever had in this country occurred precisely 14 days later. Largest spike in the history of the country since COVID started March Last year, the largest spike we have ever had in the history occurred 14 days after the 6th of June, 20th. That's one. Let us look at the correct date. So from the 9th of June, 14 days later would have been the 23rd, right? Let's look at what the numbers were on the 23rd. Lest their supporters should come and say it was a typographical error and they just made a mistake. Let us see what the numbers were on the 23rd of June. Let me get it here for you. Right, that's the 22nd, 23rd of June. The 23rd of June, 14 days after that piece of chaos that took place there because of hard-headed Trinis. Number of new positive cases, 225. Number of additional deaths, 7. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I'm confused. Now, you tell me, for those of you who are minded to follow the numbers on a daily basis, either of those two numbers that I just mentioned to you there, are those the highest spikes we have seen in the country? The highest we have ever seen, according to what this release that was put out by the leader of the opposition yesterday. 225 and 7, 106 and 5. So apparently all the days in the immediate aftermath of Easter, when it is we had 600, 400, 500 new cases, apparently, that didn't happen. We imagined all of that. Either that or the persons or the members of the UNC who are responsible for putting out these releases, they can't count. They don't know mathematics at all. They're operating based on camlamatics. Right? So just remember those two figures. UNC is saying 14 days after the 6th of June, highest ever. Okay. That was issue number 1. But the UNC don't lie. And this is the leader of the opposition, and she can be trusted. Oh yes, she can be trusted. 454 comments under this release. Right. We go again. Just a few weeks ago, Keith Rowley addressed the nation and claimed that 800,000 vaccines would be heading our way from the African Union. Now he says that the total figure will in fact be given to CARICOM as a whole, with TNT set to receive about 200, yet he does not know when it will arrive. Let me play for you exactly what it is Dr. Rowley said yesterday, for the benefit of the illiterati. Let me play it for you all. All right, let's get this here. It's 41. Right, so I hope you all heard that loud and clear, because for some reason I didn't, but I wasn't hearing it too good. Let me read for you an article that was in the Trinidad and Tobago Express dated, what's the date on this? The 5th of June, 2021. It says, first of 800,000 vaccines to arrive in August. PM to target 500,000 citizens. The government has ordered 800,000 vaccines to fight the COVID-19 virus in Trinidad and Tobago. The first shipment of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines will arrive in this country sometime in August, Prime Minister Dr. Rowley announced yesterday. The order was placed with the African Medical Platform, and once in the country, the government intends to carry out mass vaccination to bring the population to herd immunity and launch it back into some form of normalcy, he said, during a news conference at the Diplomatic Center in St. Anne's yesterday. Unlike the Oxford AstraZeneca and Sinopharm vaccines currently being administered in this country, Johnson & Johnson is a one-shot vaccine. Therefore, 800,000 vaccines means that 800,000 people can be vaccinated. This is not the beginning of the end, but we can confidently say that by the next 12 weeks, depending on shipping arrangements, we would be able to vaccinate substantial amounts of people. Our first target is 500,000 people, he said. Rowley said that for the next 8 weeks, the vaccination program would be largely confined to what can be obtained through COVAX facility, and then would look to Johnson & Johnson vaccines that have been approved by the World Health Organization. Let me just read the first line there again. The first shipment of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines will arrive in this country sometime in August. What does that imply, Trinidad and Tobago? The first shipment. It implies that we will not be receiving all 800,000 doses at once. The first shipment. So, according to what Dr. Rowley would have indicated on that day, based on the down payment, the deposit that was made to the African Medical Supply Platform, he was given an assurance that Trinidad and Tobago would be entitled to receive 800,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, and the first shipment of that 800,000 would come sometime in August. It means that there would be other shipments to come from that 800,000 subsequent to the shipment that is expected in August. That is what it means, Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Not too difficult to understand, but apparently, if you're a member of the literati, it is. Especially if you're a member of the literati who's been given the responsibility to put out a press release on behalf of the leader of the opposition. Now, the Prime Minister would have mentioned some numbers there just now, right? 800,000 plus an additional 400,000 plus an additional 500,000. How much is that? 5 plus 4 is 9 and 8 is 17. 1.7 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine expected to come between July and September. As the Prime Minister would have indicated yesterday, the timeline for the receipt of the first batch of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines in this country has been moved up from August to July, around mid-July. So therefore, it means that we will be able to accelerate our vaccination program. The same vaccination program that the members of the UNC literati have been knocking for the past few months, but they will not speak to the fact that as of yesterday, some 219,000 citizens of this country would have received one jab, and over 105,000 citizens of this country would have received 2 jabs and are on their way to being fully vaccinated. Some of them already are, because the 2 weeks would have elapsed since they received jab number 2. But in total, we have 105,000 plus citizens well on their way to being fully vaccinated, right? But they don't talk about those numbers. The fact that those numbers would show that Trinidad and Tobago is now second in the Caribbean in terms of the total number of persons vaccinated, second only to Guyana, which has been using the Russian Sputnik vaccines as well. But all the time when they're telling us we last and we're behind and we're the laughing stock, oh no, they're not talking about that now. That the fact that not only have we caught up, but we have run past all the other countries that we were being told are ahead of us and they're vaccinating their citizens and we're not doing anything. How come no mention of that? because that does not support your narrative. So 1.7 million doses expected between July and September for the entire Caribbean region, for CARICOM, of which Trinidad and Tobago is expected to get 800,000 doses. So when Dr. Rowley made mention of the just under 200,000 doses that we are expecting to get in July, that is the first batch of the 800,000. He never said all 800,000 was going to come at one point in time. But apparently that is difficult for the leader of the opposition to understand. I go back. She continues to attack the medical team of Dr. Parasaram, Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Abdul Richards, Dr. Trotman, Dr. Hines. How long does Rowley and his failed team think they can sell the same tired story of no significant change in cases, and next week we hope for better? There appears to be no urgency to save the livelihoods of thousands of our citizens who are on the verge of losing everything as a result of Rowley's callous lockdown. The Prime Minister yesterday announced that whereas 1 week ago it would have been announced by himself that only public or government construction projects would have resumed tomorrow, he has now opened up the entire construction sector. So public construction, private construction, all construction workers can come back out to work tomorrow and start once again earning a paycheck. All associated businesses that are related to the construction industry have also been given the green light to reopen. Not just hardware, people who producing doors, producing windows, whatever, outfitting equipment. All of these businesses that have anything to do with the construction sector have been given the okay, the go ahead to reopen. So this, of course, is good news for the Contractors Association. It is good news for the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, for those companies that are involved in manufacturing anything that is related to or associated with construction. This is good news for them. That is why they would have been making the case over the last month and some for members of their sector, the construction sector, to be vaccinated, to receive a portion of vaccines so that these people can go back out. And we would have seen long lines of persons who are involved in construction coming out to get their vaccines because they're anxious to go out to work. But apparently that missed the leader of the opposition and everybody else within the illiterati. Never mind the fact that some of their very own members are involved in construction, owners of construction company and construction workers themselves, who are very happy with this news, because some of them, a lot of them thought that they would not have been going back out to work tomorrow because they are working on private construction projects. They are very happy. I see they're beating down the fact that the laundromats are open. But guess what? Those persons as well are also going back out to work and can look forward to receiving a paycheck if it's the next fortnight or at the end of the month, as the case may be. And they don't have to worry if their savings is going to dwindle before they are given the opportunity to go back out to work. Trinidad and Tobago, it is, to my mind, a disgrace. This release is just yet another clear-cut piece of evidence that the leader of the opposition, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, needs to go. She has served her time. I don't know if it's possible. Well, it's highly unlikely that the members of her parliamentary caucus will move a motion of no confidence in her, because they operate under what I consider to be cult of personality. You know, they worship Kamla Persad-Bissessar. All of them owe their political lives, their political stock to Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And therefore, nobody wants to anger her, because they realize so long as she sits in that chair, she will never be removed by the membership of the party. You know, the blind mice that belong to that basket of deplorables, whenever they have an election, they will always continue to support her and vote for her. Never mind the fact that she continues to do things like this that just brings the party into odium, disrepute, and just downright embarrassment. Embarrassment. This is totally disrespectful to be calling the Prime Minister a vagrant. You start off by talking about how he looked unkempt and grubby. So the Prime Minister put on a casual shirt and a blazer. It's not the first time that he has worn that. I saw nothing wrong with the way that the Prime Minister looked. I have seen Mrs. Persad-Bissessar not look her best on many an occasion. But this goes to show, and it speaks to the caliber of person, and this is why she could put people like the likes of Anil Roberts and the likes of David Nakid in the Senate. Totally disrespectful. They have no regard for office. But the minute you say something that the members of the literati consider to be disrespectful to their leader, they vex too bad. Yeah? How you could say that about Kamala? How you could say that about the mother of the nation? She might be your mother of the nation, but certainly that is where it stops. The rest of us see her truly for what she is. And if it is that the members of the literati are not embarrassed by this post today, well then, I wouldn't even say dog eat all your shame, because you all have no shame for dog to eat. None. But to come and say, to put this in the public domain, that the largest spike ever that we have ever had in this country occurred 14 days after. And that could be easily fact-checked. As I said, I did it in less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. So whoever wrote this, I don't know if it's Kirk Mehu or Kamala herself or whoever it is, didn't even have 2 minutes to go and check to make sure what you put here is correct. Now, I wonder what you would do if it is they were to call a press conference and the few real journalists that we have left in this country were to pose the question to her. So, where did you get this information that the largest spike ever in this country took place 14 days after, well, the date you all have here, the 6th of June. Where is the information to support that? What is she going to say? I would love to hear her batsmen defend this piece of nonsense. I know they probably say, well, she didn't write that and she's being set up and it was a mistake, a typographical error, just like the typographical error in 2010 where they said that everybody, once you reach age 60, would get a pension of $3,000 across the board. And then after the election, when they had won, after they deceived people, the elderly in this country and were able to get their vote, came and said that it was a misprint. So was this another misprint? Blatant lies is what it is. Call it out for what it is. This is the second time in a week that the leader of the opposition, or rather the misleader of the opposition, has shown herself to be dishonest, to be a damn liar. But you know, the members of the literati, the majority, wouldn't really care to fact check this, right? They will support her. Ah, boy. Well, I'm reading some of the comments and I see some people took issue with what she said. Some of them. But of course, she would have her supporters as well. One person says the way his clothes looked clearly showed his reason for opening laundromats. Another person says, where is this here? All right, so she gets some licks some there too. Ah, boy. Someone says, I am ashamed that I once supported and voted for this woman. You don't have to respect the man, but respect his office. Someone else says to her, Kamala, I think your communication team is trying too hard to sabotage you and make you look incompetent. You should never be stooping this low and engaging in gutter politics like this. Someone else says, hey, opposition leader forever and ever. For you, Kamala, your PR team digging your grave so deep you won't be able to climb out. Someone else says, honestly, a person who was once the Prime Minister of this country should understand that no matter who is Prime Minister, a level of respect should be showed. It doesn't matter if you are on the receiving end of this name-calling and malicious words towards you. You should have responded with class and dignity. A lot of people look up to you in society. Is this the kind of person you want us to see you as? Today you showed you are no better than him with this message you sent out. So ashamed. Someone else says she does not know that we don't manufacture vaccines here. She doesn't know that we have to wait in line like several other countries and while doing so depend on vaccine donations. Someone else says, I don't follow politics, but to read vaccine vagrant Keith Rowley coming from the opposition leader, carry on Trinidad and Tobago, carry on. Someone trying to defend this says, Rowley said women's choice of men is not his business, but I want to tell him PNM and the PM wasn't the country's choice either, so resign now and free the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This type of divisive missive Trinidad and Tobago is totally unacceptable. And I remain of the considered view that the leader of the opposition has served her time and she has outlived her usefulness, and it's time for her to pack up and go. You know, just right out into the sunset. Not that she has anyone of substance to replace her, unlike with the PNM where you have a lot of choice. SEAM does not exist in the UNC, unfortunately. But I wait to hear the defenders defend this piece of foolishness. Lies, lies, and more lies. Challenge me now. I'm just saying. The posts are there. If you think I'm lying with respect to the numbers here, what? Go on, if you're on Instagram, go on TTT online, and every day TTT posts the bulletin from the Ministry of Health showing the figures. So as I said, based on the date that they would have put in their release, the 6th of June as being the date that the mass vaccination took place, 14 days later they are claiming it had the highest spike ever in the country's history. Number of deaths that day, 5. The number of new cases, 106. As I said, the lowest we've seen thus far since the spike would have started after Easter. But this is coming from the basket of deplorables. Again, taking up precious time that I could have used today to discuss a more important issue. But Trinidad and Tobago, come with me. Next week, I give you the assurance that I'm going to start to deal with that issue with the NIS. It's very important, and it may take me 2 weeks or so to really discuss it in the way and depth that I would like to. So I see the ads coming up. We go to the ads, and when we come back, I open the lines and take your calls. Stay locked to the Street 919 FM. I'll be right back.
Sign up and save with Green Dot. When you subscribe to any of our broadband packages, you get 30% off the installation fee, allowing you to stream your favorite shows on any of your devices. Update your social media accounts and connect with friends and family. Stay on top of the class with online learning sessions, or keep your team in the loop with virtual meetings, all at an affordable price. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 224-G-DOT today to sign up and save with Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
If you believe in unity, if you believe in the power of soca music, I want you to sing this with me. Say, la 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 la, 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 la la la. Life today, unlike yesterday. Friendship gone. Never living like stranger with never no love for one another. So you my people as one and create a song. I hope it lives on from generation to generation. If you love soca music, singing oh. Shanti oh, Shanti Shanti oh. Gotta sing this part. You know I don't know this part. I don't know this part. Burn up my da, burn up my da, burn up my da, Shanti. Singing oh, Shanti oh, Shanti Shanti oh. Burn up my da, burn up my da, yeah. Burn up my da, say what she ate. Oh. Shanti oh, Shanti Shanti oh, Shanti Shanti. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la. All you need to sing in Queen's Hall now. Sing. The people at home. I'll bring you back later, darling. Thank you. I find people like they forget how to get on for carnival, boy. Oh, let me dance and we see something. Hey, you people know what to do. Oh my God. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you. Oh, hey, hey, I think I will invite people in a while. Oh, gee, you get that sugar. Darling, there is nothing sweeter. You make me scream, you make me bawl, you make me feel like 10 feet tall. Start to sing, sugar, boom, sugar. All you need life. Now I'm gonna give you my version of Sugar Boom Boom, right? Audrey, I am very sad. This year I can't get no loving. Up on the line is where you have to line. If you have to whine, I can jam you in real life. I'm Mr. Sugar Boom, Sugar Boom Boom. A Sugar Boom, Sugar Boom Boom. A Sugar Boom, Sugar Boom Boom. I only sing this with me. Say give me the boom boom Audrey. Say give me the. Say give me the. Say give me the.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT. Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I can buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
Alright, thanks, boss. Nah, man. Ronnie, do you have $488 to lend, man?
At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a wide range of services: blood analysis, iridology, acupuncture, foot detox, foot massages, gua sha, hot stone therapy, fire therapy, legs and feet massage therapy, mineral scrubs, acrotherapy, cupping.
We also have a wide variety of supplements, silver, zinc and magnesium, body light, and lots more.
We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle operate our business in a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. We frequently sanitize our compound and abide by all the COVID guidelines that are currently in place.
So come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, where we treat you like family. Book your appointment today. Call us at 1-868-275-8359
or 1-868-288-1108.
And remember, your health is your wealth, and prevention is always better than medication.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. So I'm seeing here where Larry Lala would have taken issue the post put out by the leader of the opposition. And he says, opposition leader, the language used in this release is not yours, but it's certainly unbecoming of a senior counsel and the leader of a party attempting to win over the support of the country's floating voters. Please exercise some control over the author of this release. Well, she had no problems with it being posted on her Facebook page, so clearly she supports it. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. What's going on with this thing? Hello? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Why am I not hearing? Let's see this one. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
I think 666 gained trouble, boy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it gained some trouble. The 466 gained some trouble. Yeah, listening here, editorial. Morning, nation. Morning, everybody. Morning to you, Dominic.
Morning.
You know, I wonder how come it is that, all right, in the PNM, we take criticism and step up the game and evolve and, you know, keep a certain level of decency. How come, you know, the members, boy, how come they're not holding the UNC to a higher standard? I wonder if they really think that this beneficial in terms of you know, how they view the future, how they view the coexistence with other people in the future. And, you know, I like how Miss Ramona Ramdial came across. I can take on she being the leader. A grasping at straws here, Dominic.
Yes.
A grasping at straws here, but oh God, I'm weak. Just her utterance, just that maturity to pronounce on country and pronounce on the hard work that, and listen, what she said was the PNM and the UNC per se had nothing to do with the bill. So the bill is a totally mature piece of legislation. Mm-hmm. You know, it is a neutral piece of legislation.
Yes.
For Ms. Ramona Ramdial to come. And she, just that utterance, put her in line to be, you know, what we probably would cry out for as a new leader of the opposition, because this is the kind of reference that we want. You could go back to the political bacchanal afterwards.
Yes.
But goodness and truth, let's point it out, regardless to what. So, two things. I want to push that. I want to tell Ms. Ramona Ramdial that she should vehemently pursue the leader of the opposition office. She should, because that's an upper rating. Just her utterance, and that I think the UNC, oh gosh, we begging all it to hold the party at a higher standard, because how they behaving, it is not even good for all yourself too. Now, if you understand what I'm trying to say, locked on and listening, good program. Have a nice day.
Thank
I'll
you,
call
sir.
back if I get a tickle again later.
All right. Oh boy. Let me try here. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. All All right. I don't know what's happening with 466. It's giving some problems. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good morning. Oh, it's good afternoon already, Dominic?
Yes, sir.
I wake up late, but what is going on? Anyway, good afternoon to Trinidad and Tobago. I just want to ask, isn't this the same lady who calling about the vaccine and stuff? That's not the same lady saying you're going in sunlight and lie down, it's going to cure you. What you drink, and she partner says, if you drink rum and lime, it's going to cure you. And stuff like that. Brazil in this side of the world has getting more sun in the world. So then we better pour some sun to Brazil. I could make some money. We could make some money, get some cider bottle, and pour some sun to Brazil and places like that. But Kamala Posati says that. You don't realize that people set up for you and who are wrong you, just are wrong you to finish the money that you have because all the money that you pay you. Mr. Kingsley and Mr. Long Circular, Tabakit and also Penal in Central. What is all the profit? What is all the profit? What is all the benefit in this thing? A pack enough money, a change, or it's just shame to get off the bandwagon? Ms. Kamala Possessor is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. She could never get back in office. Who was voting for these people? There are some people who can't read, who don't understand, who don't listen to the radio, and stuff like that. All you, Ms. Kamala Possessor, so let's get off the bandwagon now. Leave the people in the country and they get a next opposition leader. So we could get a good running place. So we have it running good. We could run better to have a better political leader. Let's say good morning to Ms. Tunapuna. And by the way, Kingsley, is there no mother Trinidad and Tobago? If it's not Trinidad and Tobago, say mother Tunapuna, then you're going good. Mother Tunapuna going past the street. Good morning to Owen and Olga. Good morning to Bruce and Google. Good morning, Sharon. Tiana, good morning to you. And all the announcers radio station, yeah. So, Bonnet and Mongdop, good morning. Forget about this woman and all. Let me tell you something easy. Give somebody something and don't say nothing. I go.
Thank you, Mano. Let me try this again. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. All right, it seems folks at 4665391 is giving us some problems. So try us on 3420081. Don't know what's happening there this morning, but yeah, that's where we are at right now. So 3420081, that's the line to call for the time being. Right, let's see here. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good morning, Dominic. How are you?
Greetings.
Good morning to the listeners of this program. You know, you're absolutely right in all this discussion. And it's basically a cult of personality that is the reason why the ladies haven't stepped down as yet. And this could also be quite a bastard family because I recall, I don't know if you heard stories about when these guys people become prime minister, that their supporters just put a portrait of them and a gala. And I don't know if you heard them stories already, Dominic.
No, I didn't.
Are you aware of that?
No.
You never heard about that?
No.
It's called cult of personality. It's already written in there as well. But it's not only the term. You see that thing that vaccine variant?
Yes.
That is the lowest of the low. Alongside terms like Oreo and the other derogatory term that is called the Prime Minister. But Dominic, it's a real hard battle here. I personally don't mind that she stay in that position until 2025, you know. Because she's doing more harm than good, along with her PR.
Yes.
They have no respect. But let me tell you what will happen in the coming days, seeing that this is, they will distract us with some other stories, because I see the things coming out with the so-called police vehicles now. So I know they're going to make a big issue of that.
Yes.
So mark my words, in the coming days, they're going to hear that other story as well. And they want to link that with the PNN involved in that situation. So let's wait, because I think they will have a press conference today.
Yes.
They will talk about that. All right. Then I also want to talk about the situation about why is it that the government opening laundromats? Why they don't open up the fast food restaurants? Because I saw something yesterday on our page that a certain restaurant was anticipating to be open, and they have specials coming out.
Yes, I saw that.
But yeah, also I heard that you talk about the thing with the pre-action protocol that got sent out to one of the opposition senators for his mouth on that video.
Yes.
Oh, you heard about it?
Yeah, I saw it this morning. He says, bring it on.
I'm waiting to see what will come out of that.
Yes.
I hope he has money. I hope his pocket deep. But he's very far out of place. And it's not only he alone, there's also that big man from Douglas Politics, right? And the Jerry Springer. There are plenty of them, you know.
Yes.
There are plenty of them, but that one is a good start. You have to play with him out. And the so-called African who still supporting Kamala, or who still supporting the UNC, I hear one of them crying on one of the programs about a certain person who wants to be political leader of the party, and if he wishes. So I waiting to see what's going on with that. But boy, it's real hard, boy. It's real hard. But like I said again, if you could have gotten 26 seats last year, but there's only 90% people. There's only 90% people, boy, but 19 seats. So you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's try this again. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. All right. I don't know what's going on with that number. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic.
Hi.
Good day to you.
Good day, ma'am. You sound much better.
Yes. I'm taking a lot of energy and honey and thing to it.
Right.
You understand me here? Because Dominic, that dry cough, not an easy thing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, honestly, I'm drinking a lot of honey.
Yes.
And I used to make coconut water and plenty ginger tea. Plenty ginger tea. Dominic, how you going?
I am good, very good.
Dominic.
Yes, sir.
David Nackett. Take my advice. Best say I apologize. Dominic, Keith Rowley is not a ball, that you will be kicked all over the place,
Yes.
Dominic, I am saying and I'm telling you, I've been to the Hall of Justice with Keith Christopher Rowley already. I am telling you, it matters that they put him there and he ended up winning it.
Yes.
David Nackett, take my advice. Apologize. You ain't able with that man, You ain't able with Keith Christopher Rowley, What he ball? Bring it on.
Bring it on.
I know.
Grand charge.
I hope he had the money for his mouth. You know what I'm telling you about the last time? This one, Mr. Kingsley called on the station, on the same station, and started to talk about Sharon Rowley. And I give Kingsley advice. I tell him, don't go down the road. Dominic, you can't just come out in the public and say what you want about Keith Christopher Rowley, yeah? You know what I'm telling you about?
Yes.
I tell you, I've been to the Hall of Justice already with him. You understand me? You're just talking naked. You can't give him good advice.
Me?
So, you feel you can take on Keith Rowley?
Yes.
Dominic, you see our lovely station in Carnage?
Oh, yes. Congratulations.
Oh, yes. Dominic, I am so proud of Dr. Rowley. Honestly, I've known Dr. Rowley good years. I told you already, I've been all by Franklin Khan. You understand? The amount of work Kid Christopher Rowley did, I'm telling you about it. And sometimes I just watch some a lot of Dominic.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know be balling now. Dr. Rowley, and I love Dr. Rowley. He gets good tempo from them too, Dominic.
Yes.
But he's a fighter. You know what I'm telling you about? He's a fighter. I know what I'm telling you about. I am so proud of Dr. Rowley. Everything that Dr. Rowley said, he was going and fulfill for the people of Diego Martin West. He continued to do it. And as I said yesterday, I thank him so much. I thank him. He said before he left office, making sure he fulfilled these things. You remember his words? Never fall in love with office. You ever hear me repeat that? Yeah, he always say that to you. But Dominic, I will try to see if I can get the Nackett and tell Nake best he apologize because he ain't able to it rowdy.
Yes.
And know what I'm telling you about. You have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Right, let's try this again. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. All right, I can't help it. Callers on 4665391. That line is giving problems, so call us on 3420081. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Dominic, how is you seeing, bro?
Hey, boss, I good, man.
How is everything, boy?
All is well.
Well, I see she flip-flopping with me again. She sending out things for we to talk about. Because she know how we talk about the issues that we want to talk about.
Right.
Such as the Tobago bill. Why the hell you wouldn't go in the parliament and sit down and discuss with people business what they're paying you for? What we paying our opposition in this country for? And every time, imagine all they get so much time to sit down on a committee. And all they don't know what the bill is all about. So none of the person you put on the committee inform you what the bill is all about.
Yes.
That you could have come back in the media and at least think some part of the bill and look like you feel intelligent. Eh? As our opposition leader. That's who we getting. And because of is this thing has nothing to do with Raul or Kamala and this is the people at Tobago.
That's right.
And running their own business. That is why these people that come across that they don't like us too much, you know, because of foolishness like this. You understand?
Yes.
And people like watching with them just play games. And they know what games I don't know if they want to go on Game of Thrones or what game they want to go on. But they like to play games. You understand? For years, Tobago been calling for this thing. It's right in front of the footsteps. It's right in front of the doors now. And we're going on. You playing games with the opposition leader? Eh? Robinson been fighting for this for years. Everybody know that. Till you and Pandek get away. You understand? But this disrespect, like Kamala, the sister to the people at Tobago didn't start knowing.
Yes.
You see, when them people at Tobago started shift the vote and moving in the direction of PNM, remember the insult she used to get to the chief secretary then? So she had them in mind. This is a wicked acting. This is not somebody who wants any betterment for people at Trinidad and Tobago, you know. But you know what she are sure of? Why they behave so? They are sure that the people that spawn yellow jerseys will support them no matter what they do. But what Dr. Rowley and them are sure the people that spawn red jerseys not supporting you, no foolishness, you know, brother. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Because I, one, will not vote for you if you're coming about doing foolishness. You understand? Get sit down, mom, just sit down. Give the people the 9 votes they need to pass the bill so Tobago to get to do their business. Because from my seat, Tobago and take care of the country, they take care of the little island, they show respect for the little island. So you get your vote and get your act together. Have a bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Right, so again, the only line that seems to be working at the moment is 3420081, having some challenges hearing persons on the 4665391. Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Load on your radio there, sir.
Sorry about that. Well, I like my neighbors to hear you,
yeah.
Especially the speech.
Yes.
Yeah, so good evening, sir.
Greetings.
That is why I outlined to you, you are my financial guru.
Yes.
If you observe, she would not respond to that. The reason for that is we have a lady left us with a budget of 65 billion. Went to a country that they keep telling us years under our premier, O'Halloran and Privat.
Yeah.
And they sing that for years. But they have a man gone to the same country. Ever hear anybody pronounce about that?
Nope.
Do they call his name?
No.
So, the reason for her statement, she's not going to apologize for that. corralling the troops together.
Yes.
Because there's no Satmaraj no more. So they are corralling the troops together in order to see if they could save their life. They're not studying the citizens of this country no more. They are studying what their outcome would be because of SIS. What the one, the Brazilian company?
Mm-hmm. OAS.
We have Julian John and the former Minister of Housing before the court.
Mm-hmm.
That's all?
Yes.
So we have a couple of them and they don't talk. They're in the parliament still. Imagine that. You still put people who were before the court, but they used to sing about the young man they had as an independent senator who was under the drinking and driving. What was his name? I forget his name, man.
Lester Henry?
But we have two that are on more heinous crimes against the citizens of this country, but they are sitting in our parliament. So all she's doing is trying to pull everybody together to gather the Hindu with those kind of agendas. That is all because there's no Satmaraj to sing for she again.
Yes.
Or sing for them again. So she's just singing what Satmaraj would have normally sung. Or whoever wrote the statement in order to corral the troops to try to save their soul. That is all. But jail is inevitable. Sit back. Enjoy the evening.
Yes, indeed. Let me try this again. See what happens. Hello, good afternoon. No. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the titans of democracy. Dominic, mental illness is a serious, serious thing.
Yes.
They can't get away from that. The shots she taken, it ain't making no use. It can't help her. She gone clear. We were warned about this individual, Mr. Pandey, Mr. Manning. She disrespect Mr. Pandey and this country in India. That can be helped. And if you watch the followers, the two-pole man, well, she a mess, colored like naked. Mark, J.J. John, it's a waste of time with these people. More money man who could not buy 2 doubles. So we have to tolerate a little while longer, time longer than twice. And we want back with taxpayers' money that they can't give account for, especially the man who go in Panama. And we have to tolerate that for the time being. But God is great. God is great, my brother. And as I say, time longer than twice.
That's right.
You love money bad, but you're afraid jail. You could wine and Chris. Truly, to see one not with them, but we could jam them to the boat. Lockdown as usual. You have a safe and blessed afternoon. Great is the PNM. Always, that's the biggest banker of God. Oh, man, oh, mommy sauce.
Thank you, sir. And I'm seeing there's another article today by Rafiq Shah called Black Lives Matter Most. And in that piece, and I would recommend that you read it in the Express, even Mr. Rafiq Shah is calling out the leader of the opposition as being a liar. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I am a first-time caller, right?
Yes.
Right. You can remember Sesame Street with Cowboy X?
Sesame Street with what?
Cowboy X.
Yes, I do.
Right. So don't matter what Kamala do, right? She changed from X to O, she still support you. You understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Right. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
She changed from Cowboy X to Cowboy O, and they're still supporting she. Later.
Thank you. Yeah, Rafiq Shah is saying that too in respect of her utterances on the national insurance system being insolvent. But yet she knows it's insolvent now, but just a few months ago she was telling us that should she win the election, she was going to use the idle cash balances of the National Insurance Board in order to establish an infrastructure fund. You all remember that? Yeah. All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Dominic, what makes it very disturbing to you that let me give you an example. You know the Truckers Association had a little protest this week, right?
Yes,
last
I saw
week.
that. Yes.
Do you know they actually take that inspiration from Donald Trump supporters last year when they had protests all over in America asking for people to come out to work because they wanted to work and they wanted to be cooped up inside their homes?
Yes.
Do you remember that story last year?
Yes.
Some of them was even putting their mask and asking the children to be sent to school. They didn't want to wear the mask. So when I saw that, I said, but wait now, this looks like something I saw in the States last year, where people was protesting in the cars, asking the authorities and the governors who were Democrats for people to come out to work.
Yes.
Because they wasn't getting anything. So it seemed to me that somebody is taking inspiration from them. And who's the party who have a close relationship with the Republican Party?
Yeah.
And Trump supporters. Right? Even the Maxi Taxi Association seem to be taking a script from what with the COVID situation in the United States with people protesting that they want to come out to work and the restrictions are too harsh on the poor people now. So that's a narrative that they go in.
Right.
But all that is scripted from the Republican supporters, the Trump supporters, where they was protesting against the mask wearing and the restrictions and they want everything to turn back to normal now. So I understand the games that are being played out now. So I just want to people to take a notice of what's going on. It's not the first time, and I would expect other things to come out in the coming days now. Because right now things are not looking good for these people. So they'll find other ways to divert the population attention away from this thing now. All right?
Yes.
Just wait and see. Wait and see. All right? Particularly Tobago and stuff like that. But just wait. Something will divert the population attention very soon. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Yeah, so just remember, folks, the only line that we can hear on right now is 3420081. The 466 line is giving some challenges. So if you're trying to reach us, 3420081. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hey, Brother Dominic.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes, listen.
Greetings.
I listened to you very attentively.
Yes.
I tried to get on to you on 466. I was hearing you, but you was hearing me.
Yeah, we're not hearing on that line.
Yeah. But what I want to say is that people of Trinidad and Tobago, we have to use wisdom, knowledge and understanding. If you don't have that, you cannot write a book. And Kamala Prasad is trying to play people's minds. Kamala Prasad is run this country from 2010 to 2015. There's a lot that Kamala Prasad and the UNC, the People's Partnership, have to answer for to the people of this country. No government will run a country. So you said they're asking Dr. Rowley to answer for everything, and they want him to answer. They have not answered to the people of this country. Hundreds of millions of dollars, and we must be serious. We must keep on that our money. Forget all the old talk that is sitting out there. All you could talk about is COVID, and vaccine. We don't want to know about that. Dr. Rowley and them is controlling that. And not our part. Keep asking them about our money. The media, Kamala and them have the media in their pocket. Because Ramdeen and Ram Logan going to court, and people don't know, up to now, I don't know that case put off from the 18th of this month, last month. And I don't know when it put off for. Where's the media of Trinidad and Tobago? Where's the media? Where is the media? We don't have media. I'm personally here. No news reporter. I wouldn't call them journalists. Because journalists are strict behind them. We would have known when the date called, when it put off on all these things. We don't have it. We don't know. So let us be real. It's the money they can answer for. That she wants to play like she mad. Kamala mad. The People Partnership, they're not mad. They have to answer for our money. And I'm calling on the DPP and the Chief Justice. Make that matter a public importance. Let that case try pass, and let it, because from there, they've been 5 years. And paying him in 5 years, like 10 years already. And we're going to the 11th year. Let us get the matter, this thing done, and let them answer to the people of Trinidad and Tobago what they do with our money. I tell you, 5 lawyers, I have it. 5 lawyers, Indian lawyers, millionaire men. Millions of dollars are spent to them. They did not tell us what they do for this country for we to pay them that money. These are the things we want to answer for. Forget coming and all this stupidness you thrown out there. If this is smart, you're smart. If you're smart, it's stupidness. All government, also the world, they lock them up, Some of them making jail. Check it out, good. Some of them making jail up to now. So taxpayer money, you must answer for that. Have a blessed day, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Right, so just remember 3420081. That's the only number. We're having some challenge with the other number, so call us on that number. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic, I wouldn't be long.
Yes, sir.
You could do my little favor, bro. See if Monday or one of the prime time days when you're on, for Miss Ramona Ramdial and ask her if she willing to go up for me. I feel she will get real support soon. You see, I can't just keep complaining. I have to say what I want to replace the rubbish with. If you understand what I'm trying to say, I have to say what I have to replace. And I think the time is right. Give them her utterance. Like I say, I'm holding on to my straw. It's holding me above the water, partner.
Yes.
Giving her utterance in terms of, we're going to beat up on the nonsense because it's distractions, Issue after issue, so you wouldn't concentrate on one issue, and that's how they does run. That's how she's run the political in terms of putting things out there to distract it from everything. Because it's bat for six, but everything you come with is proven wrong, has been proven wrong, has been proven to be a lie, has been proven. No research has been proven. How could you be a SC and you still there, Miss Romana Varandia? If you're here, this afternoon, could you please run for leader of the UNC? You will be successful. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I'm sure she'll be, a little better than some of the other options that they putting forward. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
I have a question. If I am a Tobagonian, I was not vaccinated outside there, but I did my PCR test. I got my exemption.
Yes.
Am I not allowed to go home to Tobago?
Well, you would be required to quarantine here, and then you
quarantine in Tobago.
No,
because I heard Dr. Rowley say they have to go to Trinidad.
Right, so that unvaccinated persons are required to come through PIACO, but they can't. If you've done your PCR test, you're still required to do a quarantine. You would do it in Trinidad, and then you'll be able to go back home to Tobago.
So why must I come to Trinidad to pay money when I can pay it in my country? Can you explain that to me? I am coming to Trinidad to quarantine to pay money when I can pay that money in my country, Tobago. Can you explain that to me?
I'll try and get the answer for you.
Don't answer that. I will leave it here.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. 3420081. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic, good evening.
Yes, sir.
For the first time, and it's a long while, realize and see that you have a mentally deranged individual leading a party that carrying down this country to the ground. A mentally deranged woman. And it's a sad thing. You watch the media, and the media is an idiot. I watch Munilal, and Munilal is bringing separation, and what a evil thing. Haters are murderers. They have to go and read what the Bible tells them. Any man that hates, why they hate Dr. Rowley? A hater is a murderer. They have to go and read and see what the word about it. As far as I know, they don't believe in God and they don't know who God is. Thank you.
Thank you. 342-0081. I see a number 691 calling the 4665391 number. Caller, that line is not working, so please try us on 342-0081. That's the 691 number that's calling. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I have a book here, say, A Reason to Remember, of lies, deception, blunders, and missteps. That book gives you everything with Kamala Bistessa from 2010 to the 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days. Everything step by step. I think it's a book warranting that the children and them in the school should get a part of our history in this country. You understand? Because we don't want another kind of disaster like that to hit us and to continue up to this day. While we have a pandemic, we have also that to deal with. We have to get serious and we have to get on board. And you see the media? One of the greatest things I think a lot of us in this country lack is common sense. Common sense which will bring discipline and respect. And I think we really lack that bad in this country because like we just allow that to come out of the door. And all these people who consider themselves all kind of education, all kind of degree, I get to realize that these people don't even know what is right and what is wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. 342-0081. Just to address the question raised by Mr. Leave It There, and I just want to ask, as far as I am aware, I could be wrong, but the only international flights that usually come into Tobago are flights from Europe and other destinations would usually come in through Piaco. And since the borders have closed, as far as I'm aware, again, the only flights that have been coming into Trinidad have been coming into Piaco. In any event, I'm not aware that that Caribbean Airlines would be, any flights from North America would be going into Tobago. But, you know, if I'm wrong on that, well, I stand corrected. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good program as usual.
Thank you.
I ain't called since last year.
Oh, well.
There's some issues dealing with.
Right.
Sharon and the other guy, they okay?
Bruce, yes. Yeah,
Bruce and the pastor.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to thank the guy about 3 calls before who said Ms. Bicessa had not accounted for the stewardship for the 2010 to 2015. He always on point. You understand?
Yes.
This guy who called and talking about some Tobago and the community country, it will be going to quarantine. So foolish. Dr. Rowley also stated, they see they hear what I want to hear, you know. You see, for the while, Tobago would not be having no international flights. Did he say that? So if they're not having an international flight, it's not obvious that the flight will be landing in Trinidad.
Yes.
And if you're not vaccinated, you have to be quarantined the normal protocol for 14. Why is it so foolish? Good program, I look down and listening.
Thank you. Our point to note, people, as Dr. Oli would have pointed out yesterday, being vaccinated does not mean that you are immune from getting COVID-19. You can be fully vaccinated and still get it. What the vaccine will do is that it would minimize the impact of the virus and reduce the chances of you getting it so bad that you could die. But having you could do a negative PCR, get a negative PCR 72 hours before you fly into the country. And then when you reach the airport, you bounce up somebody with your negative PCR in hand and somebody sneeze, somebody cough. Yeah, And then you come on the plane, or you could be on the plane and somebody sneeze or cough, as the case may be. You never know. You pick it up somewhere between the time you did your PCR test and the time you land here. And that is the reason why you're required to do quarantine for that very possibility. And then you would, of course, if you're not exhibiting any symptoms at that time, you'll be allowed to quarantine at home for another 7 days and so on, as the case may be. But based on what the gentleman is saying, so you come to Trinidad as the case may be, and then what you hop on another plane and go to Tobago, and how many people you're infecting on that plane if it is that you're asymptomatic. So all these are things. Why would we always have to make things difficult? Come on. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Dominic.
Hi.
Good evening. Yeah, I strongly listen to you. And when I tell you, I don't understand that Mr. Livide. That man's a fool or something like that. He's stupid. A 5-year-old child listening to the TV at my house. I understand what Dr. Rowley is saying. He come and twisting. He's stupid boy. He's just like Kamala. He and Kamala could go, if I'm in the same school, don't teach people. I don't understand. It's not really don't teach. Is that true? I live with it. Totish man. Okay. Stupid man, boy.
Thank you, Kola. Leave it there, though. Yeah. Don't kill him. 3420081. Let's see who we have here. Hello, good afternoon. Let's see. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. I have two things I want to find out. Two questions I have for you. Right?
Yes.
In event that the matters that Ram Logan and Ramdeen and Rudila have in the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
In event that it goes against them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they are found guilty and culpable.
Yes.
What will be the position of the person who was in charge of them and in charge of the country at that point in time? Would she be held accountable to?
Well, she should.
Because I know all over the world, right?
Yes.
The leader is held accountable for his subordinates, right?
Mm-hmm.
In all governments. And they are asked to withdraw themselves. They'll be expelled from public life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
At least. Well, unlike an American system, where their system is different, the laws protect the president.
Mm-hmm.
But in all other jurisdictions, they are not protected by any law in terms of corruption from their members, parliamentarians, and different people. So that's one point. And the other thing is so that means that Machendato just wave off for a little second there.
Yes.
But in other events, what do you think about the bill, the Tobago Autonomy Bill,
Mm-hmm.
and the way the opposition is dealing with this matter? Right?
Yes.
What I want to hear your thoughts on it concerning why the people of Tobago not coming out and let their voice be heard. All the fellas with letters behind their name who are hiding behind the letters and choking fire to Watson Duke and the PDP and certain elements in Tobago. Because I don't know if the population of Tobago, if they're not that educated, the way they are being influenced by about 5 or 6 people with letters with doctorate and things behind their name.
Yes.
Let them come out and voice their opinion. They are the ones that are being infected. These fellas going out of the game. They're over 60. The Jameses and them.
Yeah.
Most of them are over 60 and they are very influential. And they are not speaking for the whole of Tobago. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're trying to put down the people throat in Trinidad, that they are speaking, they are the voices for Tobago. And which is not so, because a lot of people call in from Tobago, wrong people, and they expressing a different view. So I believe a consensus has to be taken concerning the people of Tobago.
Yes.
Can there be enough time? Because Parliament going on in session, I believe, on the 9th of this month, right?
Yes, this month, yes.
But they should do their homework. They should do the homework, the groundwork in Tobago, and get the consensus of the majority of people in Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my small contribution, Dominic.
Thank you.
Very good program as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well, I know that the UNC, one of their main arguments during the debate last week was that the issue of consultation, and that the leaders in Tobago, all they were asking for is another 2 weeks to consult with the people and so on. And the government has acquiesced, and they have extended consultations until, I believe, the 15th of July. So let's see what's going to happen, how many people, because when we spoke to the leader of government business, Mrs. Robinson Regis, on Thursday, she would have indicated to us that in that previous period that they had for consultations, the extension, only one submission came to them. So they've been granted another 2 weeks. Let's see how many submissions are going to come, because if
our next thing too, Dominic, should we question, right? Should the population of Trinidad and Tobago the validity of Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa SC, because apparently she don't do no research on parliamentary procedures, because they just get it up in advance, right, to do your research.
Correct.
And they just come, not she alone, all the whole 19, about 17 of the 19 members don't do no research. They just come and like the reason for my script, what the leader tell them to say, and that's what they're going with.
Yes.
You understand? They don't know research, because when they ask them, they have go through the bill.
Yeah.
They haven't gone through the bill. None of them. Because they cannot, when Al-Rawi came on the podium, they couldn't answer nothing towards what he's saying concerning the bill. They don't have the slightest inclination about the consequences of some of the things they're saying in Parliament.
That's right.
About secession. You understand?
So true.
Yeah, man, brother. Thank you.
Sir.
Bye. Oh.
All right. Yeah, and it's evident that the UNC had made a decision long before the debate that they were not going to support. So all of this that they come in with and consultation and whatnot and all the fluff. Really and truly, because when all of them keep talking about this consultation, and when the speaker says to them, well, listen, understanding or so and so, that matter has been dealt with ad nauseum, move on to something else. Half of them have nothing else to contribute. They're stumped. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, moderator. I again calling back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this whole issue with Tobago is my personal take.
Yes.
Right. This issue on Tobago right now is split down the middle, 6-6.
Yeah.
And that is a reflection of how the people in Tobago, or I should say the population in Tobago, sees this whole issue. We have about 80,000 people. I hear the same 60 and 40. About 80,000 people reside in Tobago right now. Right? And with the Hochoichas and the Salis and the Dennis and all the other persons there, Dr. Rowley came and tell them as Tobagonians, this is my way how I interpret it there. As Tobagonians throw away a political cap and come as one people when you're coming to Trinidad, because it needs a 2/3 majority to get this bill passed. It's a serious thing. They're not talking about no secession, It's empowerment for Tobago, right? That's the whole issue. And I don't know if they went about the consultation that the people didn't buy into it, because Dominic, I think they had enough time, This has been going on for a long while,
Yes.
It's really consultation in Tobago, but like how they put it forward, like the Tobagonians, they didn't buy into it because it's a serious thing against Tobago autonomy on certain things, which they require and have been asking for the longest while. Some people seen it different, as though they're saying Tobago want to break away and Tobago have nothing and they can't stand their own, and foolishness. Because, example, in England and Scotland, Wales and them places, you remember one country but different. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
They deal with their own empowerment. Right?
Correct.
So I think that it wasn't sold properly. So the Tobagonians, remember, they were kind of, I don't want to use the word docile, they were kind of laid-back people. They didn't buy into it. I think the whole issue how they went about it is they didn't buy into it, and the way politically way Tobago split down 6-6, that was a figure causing the whole issue.
Yes.
The two parties didn't come together as one based on Tobago agenda and put a stronghold on it in coming forward. That is my take on it. Good program and lockdown.
Thank you. And I know as the caller mentioned England and Scotland and so on, I would have read something yesterday where the Queen would have visited Scotland quite recently, I think last week, in an attempt to stave off Scotland pursuing independence from the UK. All right, so I have 2 minutes, so I can take this other one quickly. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Didn't I, according to Kingsley, didn't I tell you I would like to ask a question?
Yes, you did.
And you try your best to explain it to me?
Yes, sir.
Dominic, I will leave it there.
Thank you. Oh, boy. Right. Yeah, so I see that the ads are upon us, folks. So, as usual, we out of time, but not. I think I can take one quick one. Cole, I have 1 minute. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, so the gentleman who called about Tobago. Well, then if all that is good for Tobago, then you have to tell Farley and them to get the other half of Tobago that you say not together, to understand that this benefits everybody. That's so?
Yes.
So you know, that is who you have to call on, brother. And then you have to call on the opposition. If you could see it, then why is it the opposition can't see that too? Enjoy it. Because they're talking about secession. We talking about autonomy. Two different conversations. You carry back to 18-something. Enjoy the weekend, my brother. The rest of your Sunday.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I saw Watson Duke is promoting this narrative about back in 1876 when Tobago had its own laws and stuff, and he's pushing this history lesson all over. But I will speak to that on Tuesday. All right, cool. I have 30 seconds. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
But Dominic, Trinidad and Tobago is of one country. What noticiousness leave it there talking about they come back to the country of Tobago. So when you come to Trinidad and now you can't come if you are Tobagonian, you can't go to your country. Rubbish, but Trinidad and Tobago is one country, so when you come back to your country? I don't know what foolishness is that you're asking. I don't think you should even answer that question because this man is such an idiot.
All right, I will. With that, we will leave it there. So, out of time, out of things to say, thank you for joining us this morning. So tomorrow, join us again on the Titans of Democracy at 6 a.m. Sharon and Bruce and I will be back on Tuesday, God's willing, and I will want to speak to this issue about Mr. Duke. What's happening? This history lesson that he's all over the place promoting, and it's evident that he's talking about secession and not